Hey guys, welcome back to News to Astonish, where we discuss comics, movies, games, and more. And I got a lot more to cover about Spider-Man, specifically Tobey Maguire reportedly wanting to have more time out of the suit in Spider-Man 3, which really doesn't make any sense to me, but I'll get more into it right after the article. But first, I just want to remind you all to go ahead and please subscribe. About 50.9% of you guys who are subscribed watch my videos, and 49.1% of you who are not subscribed watch my videos as well. And click on bell notifications so you don't miss anything. I do live streams about 5 days a week, starting between anywhere 8:30 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, United States. So go ahead and calculate what time zone that is for you, depending where you're at in the world, and tune in. I live stream about 5 nights a week, like I said before, and I upload content on a daily. So if you like, right after watching this video, head back to my channel where you can get all the latest in comic book related content, such as movies, comics, games. There's literally hundreds and hundreds of videos you can watch and binge on, especially like the latest, where it's been like a madness of Spider-Man videos, because there's been a lot of content regarding Spider-Man, and it's been all over the news. And lastly, go ahead and join my Discord channel. We talk about everything, comics, movies, games, and whatever. And I also like to interact with my viewers there, so it's a lot of fun. Definitely made a lot of new friends there over the past few months that I've been extremely active on Discord. I have created channels for specific conversations, so if you want to head there now, go ahead and please do so. You'll make a lot of friends, and everybody will welcome you with open arms. And with all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and talk about Spider-Man and Tobey Maguire wanting more time out of the suit in Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3 specifically for the MCU. At this stage, the most people are fully expecting Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield to sign on for the Marvel Cinematic Universe's Spider-Man 3. And there's going to be a huge number of fans left bitterly disappointed if it doesn't happen. The addition of Jamie Foxx's Electro and Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange to the cast certainly seem to be pointing in that direction, but despite rumors that both former web slingers are in talks with the studio, there's no guarantee that they'll even agree to return. So Garfield would surely be more likely out of the two, because you'd imagine he feels as though he got unfinished business with Spider-Man, and after delivering those two fantastic performances in what he admitted was the role of his dreams, but both his movies were disappointing and heavily compromised by studio interference through no fault of his own. On the other hand, Maguire has rarely been spotted on our screens at all over the last decade, having made just 7 movie appearances since his own Spider-Man 3 was released 13 years ago. And 2 of those parts were a cameo as himself in Tropic Thunder and a voice performance in The Boss Baby. So, however, insider Grace Randolph, honestly not a huge fan of hers, but whatever, now claims that 45-year-old is willing to return for the MCU's threequel, on the condition that he spends much more time as Peter Parker than his costume alter ego. According to the tipster, Maguire wants to do some actual acting instead of just squeezing himself back into the spandex for the sake of fan service. And of course, there's no official word on Tobey's involvement just yet, but all the signs are pointing to him showing up in some capacity, and there's every chance he'll get his wish too, as both Marvel and Sony will be keenly aware of how much the fans want to see all 3 Spideys together on the big screen. Like I said in previous Spider-Man videos that I did for this channel, and I'm going to say it again, take everything with a huge grain of salt. It's kind of a bit of in the gray here. I mean, we have sources saying that yes, he's been in talks. I mean, just this article alone, you can imply that at least Sony executives and Marvel, Disney have been talking to Tobey, and at least Tobey is aware of the fact that people want to see him return for the role of the web slinger. But the thing is, and I'm just gonna say it right now, this title alone kind of bothers me. I mean, as an actor, you're acting whether you're wearing a costume or not. Whether you're in your civvies or you're wearing a costume completely covered, it's acting. That's what it's all about. You're pretending to be somebody. So the fact that Tobey Maguire is moaning and whining about being in the suit and wanting to just act out of the costume is a bit of a ridiculous excuse. Now, this can easily be resolved by having a double, or at least another actor, in the costume of Spider-Man, and have Tobey Maguire do a voiceover for the actor in the suit. I mean, this can be easily resolved, and then we still get a lot of screen time with Tobey Maguire on screen as himself, playing the role of Peter Parker, acting. I mean, that's a very easy resolve, honestly, and it's something really not to be worried about and not to complain about. I mean, just this title alone, where it shows that Tobey just wants to be out of the suit and act as Peter Parker, it kind of shows how ungrateful he can come across. And sorry to digress just a little bit, but it's also been reported that, you know, Tobey Maguire is not really exactly incredibly easy to work with. But I'm sure Sony and Disney will figure out something, maybe a workaround perhaps. Maybe they can have a double on set where somebody wears the costume and then in post-production Tobey Maguire does voiceover. To me, it sounds like he doesn't really want to make money, and I'll give it to Grace Randolph. She says it here. I'm hearing Tobey Maguire doesn't want to make more money. It's a great opportunity, especially when you're playing such a very extremely popular IP like Spider-Man. If I were him, I'd definitely take advantage of the fact that, you know, all the fans, Sony, Disney wants myself back as Spider-Man. I'm just saying that if I was Tobey. So I don't know. You still need to take everything with a huge grain of salt because it's still not confirmed that he's returning. But apparently Tony is aware about this discussion, and I think some of the Sony executives and, you know, Disney and Marvel, they reached out to him and they probably were talking to him. So all they really got to do is strike out a deal, and I'm sure he'd be willing and capable to return as Spider-Man. So, like, if I were him, I definitely would do it for the fan service and for the love of the character. So that's just me. But anyways, you let me know your thoughts. What do you think about this news? This pretty much says a lot. If this was an official statement from Tobey Maguire, then at least we know and we can finally say that he's officially been in talks with Sony and Disney, and this is just not speculation and rumor anymore. But I'm just going to go ahead and leave it in the air and still take this with a huge grain of salt, because there is also a possibility that he may not return as well. And as for Andrew Garfield, I feel like he may return more over than Tobey Maguire, because Andrew Garfield really enjoyed playing the role of Peter Parker Spider-Man. He loves that character. It's a very great IP. And Tom Holland, of course, out of all the three, loves playing that character, and he's willing to play that character forever, for as long as he can. You know, even he's practically aging into the character. Like, he's aging every year as the character. So I'm pretty sure, you know, it's the coolest Spider-Man we have on screen, in my opinion, because at least we get to see him from his beginnings to, like, his mature, wise years. So you guys go ahead and let me know, what are your thoughts? Should Tobey Maguire return? If so, at what capacity would you like to see him return in? I would love a small cameo appearance. I think any fan or viewer or whatever of Spider-Man would be entirely grateful for at least a small appearance or a cameo or whatever. And as long as we get to see him, I'd be happy with that. So comment down below, like this video, share it, subscribe if you haven't done so already. And as always, I will see you all in the next comic panel.